Apple didn't quietly tweak the iPhone 18 Pro by accident. Some of the most important changes this year are almost invisible, buried under tiny spec shifts and minor refinements that don't look dramatic in leaks. But they quietly change how the phone behaves, who it's really for, and where Apple is steering users over the next 5 years. If you enjoy breaking down tech the way it actually works, not just what shows up on a slide, go ahead and like the video, share it with someone who thinks every new iPhone feels the same, and subscribe. This channel is for people who know the real story usually starts after the keynote ends. Most videos treat the iPhone 18 Pro like a checklist. Smaller dynamic island, better camera, faster chip, done. But Apple's real upgrades this year aren't about flash. They're about control. Take the front display. Yes, the dynamic island is getting smaller. And yes, parts of Face ID are reportedly moving under the display. That sounds cosmetic, but it's actually Apple testing trust. Once users get comfortable unlocking a phone with sensors they can't see, Apple removes a psychological barrier. A fully uninterrupted display stops being a question of if and becomes when. And when that happens, repairs get harder, modularity gets worse, and Apple gains more freedom to seal the device completely. Then there's the thickness change. A fraction of a millimeter doesn't sound exciting, but Apple doesn't add bulk without a reason. The battery boost is real, but what's more interesting is how Apple pairs it with efficiency instead of brute force capacity. Between the A20 Pro chip and Apple's own connectivity hardware, power usage becomes more predictive than reactive. Your phone won't just save battery. It'll decide when you don't need performance. That's great for longevity, but it also means less user control over background behavior. Over time, battery life becomes something Apple manages for you, not something you actively understand. The camera upgrades might look like the headline feature, especially variable aperture on the main lens. On paper, it's a huge leap, better low-light shots, smarter exposure, more natural depth. But here's the twist. The more the hardware adapts automatically, the more Apple's software decides what a good photo is. Two identical shots might be processed differently depending on lighting, motion, or subject detection, and you'll never see the decision being made. It's incredible for casual users, and slightly unsettling for creators who want consistency. Apple isn't just improving cameras. It's quietly redefining photography standards around its own algorithms. The sensor partnership rumors matter too. If Apple really shifts away from Sony for certain camera components, that's not just a supply change, it's leverage. Apple likes partners it can pressure, customize, and eventually replace. The same pattern happened with processors, then displays, then modems. Which brings us to one of the most overlooked changes, Apple's communication chip inside a Pro iPhone. This is bigger than speed or signal strength. Once Apple controls the modem stack, it controls how data is prioritized, how power is balanced, and eventually how services are layered on top of connectivity. That's why satellite data rumors are so important. This isn't about emergencies anymore. Full satellite browsing, even limited, reshapes expectations. Coverage stops being tied to carriers and starts being tied to Apple. Today, it's a safety feature. Tomorrow, it's a subscription. And once users accept the idea that connectivity is built in, Apple gains enormous leverage over how phones stay online, where, and at what cost. Even the redesigned capture button hints at this direction. A cheaper, more replaceable component sounds like a downgrade, until you realize it allows Apple to iterate faster, standardize gestures, and potentially lock certain functions behind software updates. Hardware becomes a trigger. Software decides what it does. None of these changes scream for attention. That's intentional. The iPhone 18 Pro isn't trying to shock you. It's trying to normalize a future where Apple owns more of the experience than ever before. The phone feels familiar, safe, incremental. But underneath, the balance between user choice and system intelligence keeps shifting. And that's the part nobody agrees on yet. Are these changes genuinely making the iPhone better? Or just making it harder to notice when Apple changes the rules again next year? Let me know what you think, because the most interesting part of the iPhone 18 Pro story isn't what we know. It's what Apple hasn't finished yet.